system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills. That actually increases the money supply.
Financial Turmoil Explained.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Tuesday, the 19th of April, 2022. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you guys here. Now, here's what I want to say. Yesterday on my show, I showed two people enjoying some chicken. And if you remember, they had their platter there, and they had a pile of chicken about, I don't know, maybe at least a foot high, and it was like, I don't know, maybe 30 pieces, 50 pieces. I'm just not exactly sure. A lot of them pieces were like thighs, and the thighs were big. I mean, they're big, fill a whole plate. We got a food shortage coming. And I know a lot of people in my audience out there, you get a few extra pounds. So there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not morbidly obese, and you're not, it doesn't really affect your health too much. Maybe it doesn't put your blood pressure up too high. It would be nice to trim off, though, for a lot of us. I mean, I may be 20 pounds too heavy, but it's nothing really serious. And that's the way with a lot of us out here, because we've lived a lifestyle like that, I mean, we're used to having everything we want every time we want it, but there's food shortages coming, and these food shortages are unprecedented since World War II. And that was like, 70 years ago or something? Or more? 80 years ago? We've never seen anything like this before. Now, I'm not expecting these food shortages really yet. The conditions are not there yet for the food shortages in North America and in Europe, especially Western Europe, like in the United Kingdom, to become severe. The conditions are not there yet for that to happen, but you got to understand the conditions to have any food shortage at all was not there about a year or two ago. Now suddenly the conditions are right for a food shortage of unprecedented since World War II. That's going to happen. It's coming. It's not quite here yet. I mean, your grocery stores still have ample amounts of food in them here in North America anyway. But it's in the works. It's coming. So the conditions are right. It's like the conditions for a storm. Now, I can't guarantee you that the conditions won't change and become ripe for a extreme food shortage. So far, this food shortage is probably not going to be extreme, but it could change. It could become extreme. And you have to think about, these things that an awful lot of people in North America call a snack now, where they got a pile of chicken that's like enough to feed the people in a third world country for 2 weeks, maybe a whole family, and that's a snack, or that's their dinner, and they do that day after day. And we're used to that here in North America. We're used to what we call pigging out. We're used to doing that as people, here in North America. It's not unusual. It's nothing unusual. I mean, to order 4 pizzas, or to go and go to a fast food restaurant. This is nothing unusual. But this is something that's going to be coming to a change pretty soon, and an awful lot of people are going to say, hey, what's going on? The grocery store's 3/4 empty, and what's left in there, they're saying I can't buy what I want. They've put limits or controls in. I wanted to go in and buy today to buy 4 chickens, and they said, no, you can't have them. You can only have 1 chicken to take home with you, to put in your freezer or whatever. And they said I can't come back for a week, And so what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to make that chicken last all week for your whole family. That means you're going to have to ration it to the people in your family. This is the kind of food shortage we might be coming into, where it's not like where you're going to starve, but it's like where you're going to have to not be able to just pig out anymore because you got to leave something for somebody else. And this is the conditions that's prime. We're going to get right in there right now. We're going to take a look at this. And so what we're going to do is we are going to start the charts right here. And it always takes these charts right now a second or two to open. I guess got to wait on it just a second. Okay, there it goes. says Farm Policy News, global food crisis possible. No precedent even close to this since World War II. War threatens to cause global food crisis. The war in Ukraine has delivered a shock to global energy markets. Now the planet is facing a deeper crisis, a shortage of food. Crucial portion of the world's wheat and corn and barley is trapped. War threatens to cause a global food crisis. A crucial portion of the world's wheat, corn, and barley is trapped in Russia and Ukraine because of the war, while even a larger portion of the world's fertilizer is stuck in Russia and Belarus. The result is that global food and fertilizer prices are soaring since the invasion last month. Wheat prices have increased by 21%, barley by 33%, and some fertilizers by 40%. It says the upheaval is compounded by major challenges that were already increasing prices and squeezing supplies, including the pandemic, shipping constraints, high energy costs, and recent droughts, floods, and fires. Now economists and organizations and government officials are warning the repercussions of increasing in world hunger. So this food shortage right now has the effect of where some of these third world countries and stuff could actually experience severe food crisis. Here in North America, so far, if this doesn't get worse, we're looking at shortages, possibly not severe. I don't think severe here. I mean, I'm not expecting it to become severe, but that could change. I can't guarantee that it could not become severe in the future if certain other things happen that we can't see coming to make supply chain issues worse, or to make crop failures worse, or like, I'll explain it to you this way. We got a bird flu now that's impacting the poultry production, which is your chicken, basically, and eggs, which makes a large part of the world's food supply. So if other things start to happen, gosh knows what could happen. Maybe insects is something, or drought. And out in the Midwest, we got a dust bowl forming that could impact it even greater, that could actually take this food shortage from where it is now, which is not severe, into the severe territory. So I wanted to bring this up to you guys this morning. Now we're going to get in and take a look at the markets. We're going to get in there and take a look at silver. Silver's at $25.43. It's taken a shift downwards this morning. It was up near $26, getting up there, but I see this as still them manipulating the price downwards with paper market. They still control the price with the paper market. I think that this is going to break apart on them pretty soon. I don't think they can extend this control too much further. These paper products could actually go to zero while the silver becomes unavailable to buy. I mean, because that's what they are actually worth. If you cannot underline the paper silver products with real physical silver, what are they worth? They're just paper. Okay, now we're going to take a look at gold today. Gold price is $19.64. It's down $14.50 today. We're going to get in there and take a look at cryptocurrency. What we're looking at with cryptocurrency is 41,392. So it's bounced back up above the 40,000 mark. It's been hovering around 40,000. It did drop into the 30s there. Now it's back up above 40,000, 41,392. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones today. The Dow Jones today is 34,414. It's up 101 points. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about equities here. In the short term, because of what the Fed's doing, they're putting pressure on equities to go to the downside because of them raising interest rates, and because the interest rates on the long end of the yield curve are starting to get a little bit out of control right now. It's going to put downward pressure on equities. But here's the thing about this. There's a turning point coming up when the Fed's going to pivot and go back to an easy, accommodative monetary policy. And the sky is a limit for the stock market when that happens. And so we could see a sudden shift downwards in the stock market. It could very well happen because the stock market is bloated and overpriced. It's not as bloated and overpriced as it was a year ago because of inflation. I figure the inflation over the last year is probably rounded off somewhere around 15%. That means your money's worth 15% less. The stock market stayed the same over the last year, hovering around 34, 35,000 in that area, you know. And so it's basically the same. It hasn't went anywhere. But inflation has chewed away 15% of the value of that money, roughly. I'm just averaging it out, right, guys? So that means the stock market's actually dropped by 15%, if you can understand what I'm saying, over the last year, even though it hasn't moved anywhere. It's actually dropped by 15%. So it was higher, it was more overvalued a year ago than it is today, but it's still overvalued. But that means that what you can buy with the money you have in the stock market is 15% less this year than it was last year. That means, you know, and if you keep your money in there, yeah, the stock market might go up, but inflation's going to eat away all the purchasing power of the money that you have stored in the stock market, in the equities. And it's going to get, this effect is going to get worse and worse. So it doesn't really matter how high the stock market goes. I don't think it's actually going to keep up with inflation, and it's not. Over this last year, it hasn't kept up with inflation. There's been fluctuations in the stock market where different aspects of the stock market have moved the valuations around, you know. Anyway, let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil is a lot higher this year than it was last year. $104 right now. So the cure for low prices in crude oil is low prices in crude oil, and the cure for high prices in crude oil is high prices in crude oil. So the price gets high in crude oil. What's going to happen is they're going to get there and they're going to start digging for more oil, basically. Opening more wells, you know. It opens up production of oil when the price goes up because they see a profit margin, a really good profit margin. And so now that crude oil is over $100 a barrel, we got a really good profit margin. This is going to lead to some more jobs in the crude oil industry and oil industry because nobody can tell them not to get out there and dig when the oil price goes really high. They're going to get out there and start looking for oil because it becomes profitable. And so, yes, crude oil's down a little bit today, but it's been high lately. It's been running over $100 a barrel. $104.29 today. It's down $4, nearly $4, down $3.92. Let's take a look at the MOVE index, 122 today. We'll put it on a 1 month. You can see overall over the last month it's up, and it's still moving up. It's moving up slowly but steadily. That means that the credit markets are becoming more and more unstable as the Fed is out there doing this silly game that they're playing, that they're going to have to stop. They're going to have to stop doing that. Bonds and rates, this is getting scary right here. This should bring it in. Yeah, there we are. We're looking at just today alone, the U.S. 10-year going up 6.1 basis points to 2.92. This is getting scary, and we're getting up near 3% on the U.S. 10-year. Something's going to break as these move higher. If these don't stop moving higher, something's going to break. And, of course, as the Fed starts raising the rates on the overnight rate on the federal funds rate by 50 basis points each time, something's going to break soon. That's completely unsustainable. Dollar index today, we're looking at 100.94 on the dollar index. Well, it's like this, guys. The system's getting ready to break pretty soon. And it's going to be, things are going to happen like you had never seen before. Not just like all your life, all my life. You go to the grocery store, it's always packed full of food, anything you want, anytime you want it. Soon you might go to the grocery store and it's half full. Interest rates might start to go out of control to the upside. The Fed might have to step in and try to control them, bring them to the downside, and then you're going to see the Fed monetary policy have to support part of the people out there who are going to find financial difficulty. Otherwise, there are going to be too many people that just can't feed themselves. Just stuff like that going on that just you've never seen before, like and prices on everything going up, like not 1970s style inflation, but more like 20% per month sort of a thing. You know, you go in, you buy something, and this month it's 20% higher than last month and expect it to go up 30% the month after that, sort of thing. Stuff we've never really seen before, you know, and people trying to spend their money as fast as they get it. And when all of this starts to really hit over the next number of months, next 3, 4, 5 months, you'll remember a lot of the stuff that I've told you on this show for the last number of years as it starts to come true, because this whole thing is starting to, the stinky stuff, the peanut butter is starting to go into the fan right now. It's all starting. The stuff I've been talking about on here for years, it's all starting now. It's finally, we've hit the point of no return, and the system's starting to roll over. And in the next few months, it's going to roll over, and you're going to see stuff that you've never seen before. You think that the COVID crisis was a big change? Well, this new normal, which isn't normal at all, and of course, I heard talk that there's more of these stupid variants coming. I mean, it's just like everything is just like starting to become unhinged or unglued. And so we're going to find out over the next few months just all we're going to have a much better idea what just all of this is going to look like, because I've been theorizing for you guys about what it's going to look like, and I've been pretty much on the mark. But when it actually hits, what's it really going to look like? Well, you're going to find out, because it's starting to all come unglued in the next few months. And there's probably going to be a big call on people who are in charge of the system to try to fix all this. But I don't think there's anything they can do, because the problem that's been created is so rooted so deep, it goes back more than 100 years, that it's going to have to play itself out. Scary times, really scary times. We entered into scary times when we moved into 2020, and now it's just getting worse. And so do what you can do, you know. Following my show, you kind of have an idea of what things you can do to try to stem off the trouble. But now that we're moving into it, you get very little time left if you're still making preps. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the very next show. And you guys have a great afternoon. And if you got any friends out there that want to subscribe to my channel, that would be nice. I'd like to have extra subscribers. Bye-bye, guys.